morning. Alright, so I wanted to do an update. And I'm not gonna lie, this update is a little, you know, you kind of get pulled two different directions. Because I have a sad, okay, so let me just say this. Big boy. You guys all seen the barn side crashed in where he kicked at Molly and hold on one second. You guys cannot make up your minds. Go out. Okay. And in video, you guys actually got to see how he acted toward Frodo that day, trying to take a nip at it, nip him, bite him. So, because you have to look at it in two different perspectives. You have to think of the safety of the small ones, the small animals, or even in Molly's case, a big animal, but it's not used to being run over by something else. So you have to look at it in their perspective. You also have to look at it in his. You know, there is some kind of mentality. He's got some kind of mentality that well, I want to say feed time is when his aggression comes out. And it does. But, in one of Bree's videos, I think it was, well, somebody told me in a comment. And so then I went to look. And so I had to, you know, we don't get to watch each other's videos constantly every day. That we don't have the time for that. But I think it was a video that was called Everybody's Angry, or they're so angry. Something about being angry. And it's at the very beginning. It's only a couple of seconds. I don't know if further into the video she got more or if that's all she got. But he was running Molly up sort of behind the pond. So it had nothing to do with feeding. He was just chasing her. And I don't want her run all over the place. I don't want her, especially in the wintertime, burning calories, being chased by a horse. And I don't want him to chase her. You know, I don't want her to be chased by anything. I don't want the ghost to be chased by anything. So you have to look at it in two different ways. You've got to be protective of them, and you need to be protective of him, because he's got some kind of a mental situation that, you know, maybe, I don't know if the girl that had him before, you know, got him from as a baby and raised him, or if she don't, because, you know, they said that he would force Willow off the food and they'd have to separate them. So, you know, I don't know if he came to them like that, and, you know, then he came to me like that. But he was very aggressive, and there was two times it happened. This, I'm going to tell y'all. 2 times he tried to bite me during feed time. And out of all the brushing and his mane and his hair and his body and farriers with him and being washed and loving him, and, you know, him following me around out there around the pond and stuff when I'm doing things, he just right up on top of me, following me. He never tried to bite. But twice at feed time, he tried to bite me. Once he got my jacket, praise God, it was a cold day, and I had that big quilted, that yellow plaid coat on, because he got it instead of my arm. The other time, he missed my arm, but I was quick enough, but I was bare-skinned. If he'd gotten me, he'd gotten me good. He already had his grain. Him and Molly both were eating in their separate places. Her in her stall with her food, him in his stall with his food. I took and threw her some hay, then I come back around and come down the fence line. I was going to throw his hay over the fence, but I was going to throw it right there by his feed trough because that's where it was dry. where we'd had the rain and it was really dry right there, and I was going to throw it right down beside his feed trough. So I was right there, and he was down in his, his head was in his trough, but he come up fast and tried to nip me. And like I said, he got my jacket. And then another day, I was quicker. And after that, I thought, okay, I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to do that. So now I go a few steps away from where he's here eating in his head here. I go down the fence a couple of feet away from him and dump his hay. Because all I had was hay. And I don't know if it was a thing, say, oh, she's coming for my food, and he had to bite at me for it or what. But, anyway, so I thought Jamie was going to take him. Jamie messaged me one day and told me, oh, I just love your new horse, Big Boy. I just loved on him out here in the driveway for 15 minutes, blah, blah, blah. And if you ever can't keep him or don't want him for any reason, let me know. So I let her know that I was afraid for Molly and afraid for the goats. And since she just had horses, I thought it might be better for him to be with just the horses. And I thought it was all a go. And then all of a sudden, Brie calls me. She's talked to Jamie. I don't know what the conversation was because I wasn't there. But she was wondering, could she have Big Boy? And I said, Brie, baby, the whole reason that I bypassed you and Jake and even your dad was because we all have things. Our animals all run together. He can't be with these littles. He's going to kill them or he's going to hurt something really bad. And that's why I didn't ask any of you guys, because why would you want to have a horse or any animal that you have to keep completely separated from everything else because it doesn't get along? And I said, to me, that's a waste of a pasture. It's just, what was be the point of that? She wants to try it. So, you can only say so much before you say, okay, go ahead. I just wanted to make sure everybody understood. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not a person that blows everything out of proportion or, exaggerates the situation or embellishes. I'm going to tell you straight if there's a situation, and I love him. I have a love for him. Even this morning, it was sad. My heart hurt this morning for him because it probably would have been easier for him to be at Jamie's because he wouldn't be where I see him every day or he sees me. Because earlier when I was out letting the goats out and doing my stuff, he'd come to that fence because Brie already has him. And he come to the fence and was just looking at me and did a couple of, talking to me. And it kind of did make me sad. Because, he will eventually know Brie and know that's where he lives. But right now it's the next day and he's on another side of the fence and he can't get to where, no matter what, he chased them and was upset with them half the time. And he's only been on this side of the fence for all the months he's been here. So it was sad to see him at the fence line looking at me like, am I going to get hay? Am I going to... Her other two horses were up underneath the awning of that little barn thing, eating on it. It looked like a round bale. But he was off by himself at the fence line looking over at us. And that was sad. So in that way, it would have been... I feel like the whole situation would have been easier if Jamie just took him. Because it is kind of sad to look out, go out your backyard and you see him looking at you. And maybe eventually he'll stop that. But right now he's still looking over at me and it was just, it made my heart hurt. Yeah, Brie has him. And I explained the situation to her and told her why. And she's gung-ho that she's going to try it. She says Tigger doesn't really like the goats either and has tried to take nips at them. And I was just like, well, why then? Would you want to add another one to that situation? But we're gonna see. I guess we'll see how it goes. I pray nothing happens. I pray nothing happens. Because once it happens, it's too late. I told you so's, and I wish I hadn't, and the I wishes of the situation just don't work anymore once it has already happened. So let's just pray it doesn't happen. But that's what's going on right now with him. So yeah, we're just gonna have to I guess I'm gonna have to try not to look over there, because it does make me sad to see him. And I'm going to keep an eye out for a horse that has been raised with other things, so it's not upset with other animals or being around, and one that's ready to ride. That I mean, he was basically ready to ride. Like I said, I've been on him a few times, but my knee was still bad then, so I couldn't give it all, and my knee is better now. There's days that my knee don't bother me at all, and then there's days that all of a sudden, why is that hurting today? You just never know. But it's pretty much healed up. I'd done everything the doctor said. I iced it. I heated it. I mean, I did all the things. Tried to stay off of it as most as I could. I'm not that person that's just going to sit and do nothing. So staying completely off of it is not feasible. But I tried to do it. So it probably took me longer to heal than most, because I can't stay off of it. But it's better now. So yeah, I could ride. I could go out and right now and get on a horse and ride if I had one out here ready to ride. But that big boy was just, like I said, I have a soft spot in my heart for him, and seeing him standing out there by the fence this morning, I was just like, oh, please don't look at me. But he still needed a lot of work too, to ride and to be really comfortable. And he is tall, so I really, even without a bad knee, I really did need a mounting block or somewhere to mount. Well, picnic table's out of the question, because that's laid flat since Daniel hit it with the tractor. So I will have to get me a mounting block or build me one. Hold on. Uh-oh, it's Tony. Okay, so that was, get off the horse for a minute. That was Tony. And he is going to pick up Levi at 2. And they are going to run, visit. Basically, it's Tony's cousin, and it would be Levi's cousin by marriage. But that's enough water. But Tony's aunt has a son, John. And he is Downs. But when Levi and John were both their same age, they were in school together. But then her husband got a job transfer, and they moved. I think they were still in elementary, maybe 3rd or 4th grade when they moved. And since her husband has passed away. And that's because Levi's, he's almost 30. But are you 30? He'll be 30 this year. So anyway, they've moved back to the area, and Tony's going to go visit, because Lisa is Tony's aunt. John is Tony's cousin. But basically, Levi and John were just friends when they were in school, and Levi wants to go see him, and John wanted to visit with Levi, so Tony's going to take him, and they're going to go visit. I'm fixing to get him dressed. But anyway, yeah, so that's the situation with the horse, is that Bree has him. She wants to give it a try. I just pray nothing happens down there, because once it does, it's too late with the I told you so. I don't ever want to be that I told you so person, but I just feared that it was going to happen here, and that's why I wanted him to go somewhere where there wouldn't be that challenge that he has to deal with. But that's not the case right now, so we just have to pray that nothing happens to Bree's little goats. So anyway, that's Big Boy. He is with Bree, and just gonna pray that everything goes good with that. All right, love you guys. God bless y'all, and I'll see you later. Katie, I'm trying to do a video.